What's up, everybody? We're back. New Pod Who Dis, episode 2. I'm Jake with Jackie.
I'm Jackie.
Joey.
Hey, what's up?
And Steven.
All right, we're all here. We're doing it again. We're going to keep doing it for you guys. Every Saturday, we'll be releasing a new episode. Please subscribe on iTunes. Leave a review. Give us 5 stars. We're those fun people that you look forward to every morning. So
You can find us on wherever you get your podcast. So Overcast, that's what I use, and we're there.
yeah, you can also follow us on Instagram at newpodwhodis and on Twitter at newpod_whodis. And yeah, tell us what you think. Let us know. How was everyone's week so far?
This is a long week, man.
It was.
Agreed.
Yeah, it was a long week, but I'm glad that today is Friday, and today is also National Coffee Day.
Absolutely. National Coffee Day.
Which is amazing because most coffee places were offering like super big deals on coffee, or you can get free coffee. So myself went to Wawa, got free coffee at Wawa, which was great. And they had the pumpkin spice cinnamon something. It tasted like fall. It was basically fall in a cup for free.
A lot of people protest against the fall pumpkin spice. What?
Well, it just screams basic at this point. I think now it's just making fun of itself.
It's
Like when I hear, I got a pumpkin spice latte, I'm hoping that you're wearing leggings and some Uggs. This is how I feel. Were you wearing your leggings and Uggs at Wawa?
No, I didn't have my leggings and Uggs at Wawa. But at what point is like, because they always push it early, right? Like we just now hit fall and everything is already pumpkin spice.
Oh, they've been having pumpkin beers out for like weeks.
Exactly. So like how early is too early these days for these
I don't
companies?
think it's ever too early because the supply chain. There's only a limited amount of pumpkin spice, so I think you got to nab it up quick.
You
For real?
Yeah,
No way.
there's
You
only
get
one
pumpkin puree in like the middle of April.
Yeah,
only one
China
pumpkin.
has like a stronghold on all the pumpkin spice. That's why we're like pissing off North Korea to get more pumpkin spice from China.
So people can go into
Gotta
Starbucks with
help
their
the
leggings and Uggs.
Oh, that's amazing.
But it was good. I mean, free, like in, a bunch of other coffee places were doing like really good discounts. And so like Dunkin' Donuts, I didn't do the Dunkin' Donuts one, but like medium coffee, get a free medium coffee. So if you had a friend or you just want to drink 2 full coffees, like that's pretty cool. But in terms of coffee, what do you guys like better? Cold brew or hot?
I don't really discriminate, honestly. I like all coffee.
I am all in on cold brew at this point. Now, at the beginning, when I first heard of cold brew, I thought that it was just a rebrand of iced coffee, and I was like, okay, cool Dunkin' Donuts, cool Starbucks, let's just give it a new name. But it's actually a completely different process than brewing coffee the traditional way, which is heating up water, it trickles down through the grounds. It's completely cold, so there's no heat, so there's a limited amount of the highly acidic oils that bother your stomach. So if you're someone who tried coffee and it grinds your stomach up too much, cold brew is the new way to do it. I wouldn't drink coffee any other way. And you can heat up cold brew.
You wouldn't have it, and you wouldn't eat
No.
it. You wouldn't drink a hot cup of coffee.
No.
Challenge.
No. Well, no, I drink a hot cup of coffee, but it'd have to
I mean,
be
I'm
cold brew
drinking
that was
some of
warm.
his cold brew right now that he has brewing up, and it's good. Like I'm liking this. Like it brings out flavors that you wouldn't normally get. Because like I usually brew my coffee on the AeroPress, so like my go-to is some single origin coffee on the AeroPress. You get like those really bright flavors, but this cold brew, man, like chocolatey, and yeah, it's super
Chocolate's the key.
light.
Chocolate's, you need a chocolatey coffee. Chocolatey and nutty is the way to go.
What about you, Joey? What's your favorite way to consume the caffeinated beverage we like to call coffee?
By not drinking it, because I do not drink coffee. I do not like it, A, and it bothers me in all kinds of ways, B. I've actually gone caffeine free for a little bit.
How do you make it through the day?
How do I make it through the day? I just grit my teeth, and it's just terrible. But, some of us have to suffer for the rest of you.
Do you do tea?
I do. I did green tea for a long time. I don't know. The caffeine-free thing is just kind of a new thing, just to try it out, just to prove to myself I can. But I do enjoy green tea.
I tried to get into green tea, but I just felt like I was drinking like soaked grass clippings.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
All right.
Jackie, I know you do. You like make like a tea concoction.
I do have a tea concoction. You're right.
What's your secret recipe?
It's like
So
a
it's not
lot
secret.
of like oranges and lemons that I squeeze, and then I put some honey, and then it's a citrus tea, like mostly orange spice or something like that. And hot water, obviously, because it's tea. But yeah, it's my little. Sometimes I put bourbon in it.
So just hot bourbon with citrus. That's good.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's my version of a hot toddy.
Well, let's jump into our first segment. Sup.
Sup?
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 So, Sup is a segment where we get into this week's news, hot topics, highlight the random stories we find on the internet. Pretty much anything that we feel like talking about, we're going to talk about. First, I think we need to touch on an update from a story last week, the Mad Pooper.
Yeah, so I saw
Please.
Surely.
Please update
I heard
us.
an update to this.
On the edge of my seat all week.
Yeah, it's, Channel News 13, ABC. This is where I'm getting my update from, so that's where my facts are. But basically, some spokesperson came out claiming that they know the Mad Pooper, and we're talking about why she's desecrating on people's lawns.
She has a spokesperson?
Well, apparently, quote, spokesperson, unquote, like.
So it was just her, but like in a different voice.
Maybe.
She's been named Shirley, even though that's not her
Yeah.
name.
So this person
Shirley.
claims to know this woman, calling her Shirley. And apparently, she had some sort of kind of like like an injury, and it's affected her brain, and she can't control this. And I don't know. It seems a little wishy-washy to me.
I also read the argument that it was a violation of free speech, which is insane because pulling down your pants and defecating on someone's lawn is in no ways a form of speech, first of all.
They were saying that. What?
it was a violation of the First Amendment for her not to poop,
Oh.
which is crazy.
I don't think
She's just
that's-
exercising her rights. They also compared it to breastfeeding in public.
Nope.
Yeah, which there's a complete
Which
difference.
Yeah, no.
Like I've seen people breastfeeding out in public, and like that's like what's going on there. Like that's kind of
You are nourishing another human being.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
you're out to dinner, everyone's got to eat, right?
Yeah.
But
Hey, pull out that titty and go for it. I mean, that's just
exactly.
That's the breastfeeding
And
slogan.
the only girl at the table stays very silent.
But pooping on someone's lawn, I don't know, man. That's completely different. That's in a whole different neighborhood of just
Well, not only that, like, isn't that indecent exposure?
right. Like
it's
you
definitely
can't.
not decent.
I don't know of a way that you could do that without it being that kind of you're exposing yourself. And there's kids around. You're in a neighborhood. Not that you should do it. Not in like.
Well, now I'm trying to think of ways to poop and like not expose myself, but let's not go down that path.
Yeah, and there's no evidence that this is the real reason, and we're just gonna have to keep following the story. And
Yeah, I'm Sherlock Holmes must be on the case by now because no one else knows what's going on.
switching gears from pooping, how about Spotify's new Your Time Capsule playlist?
Oh, I love this feature because I only listen to that music anyway, so it was just a normal playlist for me.
Yeah, when I saw it pop up and I clicked into it, it was just like everything I listened to in high school. And I've never listened. I've listened to some of that stuff on Spotify before, but it just new, and it was almost kind of creepy.
It was, wasn't it?
Right? It's like revisiting your old self.
It was like here's 10th grade.
What was the number one song? What was the first song that came on the playlist?
Oh, on mine, it was a song from the early November.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but like they were on there, like Spitalfield, The Spill Canvas, Taking Back Sunday.
So how does it know what to play?
I think it takes like all the things I've listened to recently and just assumes that like if you just backtrack to like those
Yeah.
type of songs in the past, I don't know.
Like you've been listening to this your whole life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my music, I don't know about you guys, and I'd like to hear what you guys kind of how your music taste has changed, but mine basically like hasn't changed since high school. Like I'm the same stuff.
So what is it?
So there's the pop punk,
Emo.
like that is like emo pop punk, hardcore stuff. That is kind of what I continuously listen to.
I like how anyone who doesn't listen to pop punk calls it emo.
I listen to pop punk. when
Yeah,
I-
Jackie's got a sweet playlist going.
You don't know me at all.
Don't. This is why we're doing
I had
this.
the whole thing. I had the studded belt.
Oh yeah.
You know what? How dare you? I've seen Yellow Card like 6 times.
It took me like 2 months to get the balls up to buy a ball chain necklace from Hot Topic. And then when I bought it, it wasn't even like a choker. It like hung down to like the middle of my chest, and I just looked like a fool.
Did you guys do the wallets with the chain that like clipped to your what was
to
that
your
even?
Jenko jeans?
The
Yes.
Jenkos. Actually, my mom never let me wear Jenkos because they sagged, and I wasn't allowed to wear.
Were you a Wrangler
sagging
guy?
pants. I was whatever was cheap. I think at the time because I was going to grow out of them. Husky size. That's what I was.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm interested to see like how the Spotify like kind of your time capsule. I'm hoping it converts Jake over to Spotify.
Yeah, I'm still on that Apple Music train. I just like the way it works with all my devices.
Which is good. I just just trying to pull it over.
So how about Twitter testing out 280 character limit?
Forum signatures, man. They're back.
That's crazy. That's too many characters.
I just feel like we're giving the wrong people too much space to say the wrong things.
So my biggest qualm with this was that President Trump doesn't need a larger canvas for his...
Neither does Kim Kardashian.
Or anybody who we religiously follow on Twitter. Like, it's the only... It's like, what's happening now? What's the more ridiculous thing that's going to come out of some celebrity's head and not be able to be erased?
Yeah.
Well, don't you want to like see them try and form a more complete thought?
No, I like when people write things and try to shorten the words and make no sense at all.
Or it's always like the 1 of 3, 2 of 3,
Yeah.
3 of 3. But what do you guys usually get off of, like, what do you usually use Twitter for? Because what I use it for is to complain to companies when things aren't going my way. Like, when airlines are delayed, like, the first thing I do is go on Twitter and just say, like, what's up, X airline? Like, why are you delayed?
I have to confess, I recently deleted mine. I wasn't really tweeting or really scrolling through Twitter.
I definitely don't tweet as much, but I like to follow news outlets. But I just recently converted over to Nuzzle for that, and that's a lot. I like that platform a lot better for consuming news because it kind of collects everything from a bunch of different outlets and puts it all in one space.
I definitely don't associate nuzzling with news.
Curl up next to your...
Do now.
I wouldn't either. I'm not sure who they what market they tested that out with, but
You're not going to ask me how I use my Twitter, Jake?
how do you use your
I think I'm the most popular Twitter user here.
You might be, because I barely use Twitter. So what do you what's your Twitter?
I just use it to follow other tech people and learn what the hot new trends in the development world are, which change literally every hour. So I have to use it.
Do you
to
think
be
280 characters is going to help get like that news out, or
no?
People probably still tweet with 140.
It's just hashtags and like one word answers to like, what's the new JavaScript framework? React.
Yeah, and I think I like the links too. So to tweet out a link and retweet a link to articles and to whatever you're trying to get into is good. And you don't need more than 140 characters. That's why they have tiny URLs.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. What would be your guys's if you had to power rank your social media all time? Since we were kids to now, what would be like kind of your top ones, like your top 3?
Like when I was the most powerful on social media?
Sure,
Never.
No, like the ones that you like use. There was always like LiveJournal, MySpace.
Oh, MySpace was my number one.
That was your number one.
I don't think I had a MySpace. I think I had a LiveJournal. And I also had one of those
Zanga?
I had a Zanga.
There you go.
Yes. Oh my God. Can we find those?
It has to still be Joey.
Maybe?
You're the tech expert. That still exists on a server somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
we can go onto the
exists
history
somewhere.
of the internet, can't we?
And if you find my Jenga, you'll find
All
out
right.
that I am a punk kid.
For next, for
Tell you that
week,
right
To
now.
our users.
for next
listeners.
week, we're gonna try and find some of your old social
Oh my
media stuff
God.
and see if we'll share it on the next podcast.
That would be amazing.
I definitely don't want to find my live journal because I only remember one
Dear
specific
diary.
mood apathetic. No, but the only thing that I really wrote was a really passive aggressive entry to like one of my first girlfriend, and that's how we broke up. Was like via live journal.
Oh man,
I had it the other way around. Like I had
You got broken up via live journal?
No. There was a girl who thought we were dating and was like live journaling about it, and then then like
Did you know
complained.
her?
Oh yeah, but like we weren't dating. But I think I just gave her the wrong impression. But anyways, she wrote about me on there, and I didn't know I was even on this thing until one of my friends was like, "Oh, did you know that so and so wrote about you on?" I was like, I didn't really even know what that was. I didn't have one. I think my first social media was MySpace. So
Well, how about one of the things with social media and the internet is I remember my parents being so worried about my personal information. So don't use your real name. And now all of our parents are on Facebook and use their
Real
first
name.
last name, tweet about opening a door or like dropping, I broke another vase today, hashtag life sucks.
Alexa, order me a pizza to this address. Thank you.
yeah, right. Like my mom used to always, anytime we bought something off the internet, it was like my mom was like the site vetter. Like that site was trusted if we ordered from it because she like went through due diligence. Sometimes she would even call up and do like it over the phone to order something.
If you looked at those websites now, though, you would think to yourself, I'm not ordering something from this website. If you could just look at the screenshots from what was the website that you would order things? I don't even remember ordering anything off the internet before my phone.
No.
eBay. eBay was the only thing.
I mean, I used to order I used to get my mom to order me like hockey equipment offline and stuff like that, like crazy, like weird stuff that you like wouldn't get now, I guess.
I bought and sold paintball guns constantly on eBay. I think I still owe my mom like $500 from using her credit card, and she would just kind of forget because there were so many transactions.
So that business didn't turn out well for you.
Well, I had to upgrade every time I got one. I wanted the next level, and I would save a little bit more and then sell the paintball gun because the value never dropped. I mean, screw 401ks. If you want to put your money into something, put it in the paintball guns.
Words of wisdom.
But with so with social media stuff, I saw this the other day when I was riding the metro. I saw some dude with like 1,000+ notifications on his phone.
Notifications or like in one app?
Like that was one app. Like his mail app had 1,000+.
No,
like,
that honestly gives me so much anxiety. I don't know what people are thinking. It makes me so angry. I'm like, why can't you just check those when they come in, and then you wouldn't have thousands on your phone?
Like how?
Just get
how are
rid
you
of
getting
them.
thousands of emails? That's what I don't even know. Like I don't
Because
even
those
get
have
that
been
many emails.
sitting there forever. So it's like all of the crap that you don't want to open from, Nordstrom or wherever you guys shop. And they just sit there forever. And then instead of deleting them, you just let them, go down until you can't find them anymore.
Well, if you're lazy enough to not read the email, you're too lazy to make a filter to send it somewhere and mark it as unread already.
Some people don't have the time.
You should just unsubscribe at that point.
Yeah. Well, that's true
But
too.
like, it gives me anxiety to see notifications on my screen. Like I have to clear them out, and maybe I need to talk to someone about that. But like,
No.
I have to be super neat.
I
I'm
recently
the same
went
way.
through a notification purge to make sure that I was only getting notifications from applications that I really needed them from.
Yeah.
So, fantasy football, I need to know when my players are
You
injured.
need that.
That's like crucial. Obviously, all my group text messaging apps, WhatsApp for volleyball, GroupMe for family.
You're so popular.
Yeah, I know.
And
I got
Slack for
got a lot
us.
going on. Slack for West 11th Media. Pretty much just messages. I'm even almost about to turn on my Gmail notifications off because I feel like I get more promotions than anything else, and that's just obnoxious. Have you guys ever used Unroll Me?
No, but someone told me about that the other day.
So Unroll Me is an app that unsubscribes you from subscribed emails, even if you like order something from PacSun, PacSun circa 2003, or a nice Ruka shirt from PacSun.
You didn't just order something from there yesterday.
Yeah, definitely not. But it'll go through your subscriptions and it'll just knock them all out for you, which is
I
awesome.
need that because half of the stuff I get, I just delete it, and I should just take that extra step to unsubscribe from it because I don't need this. Like some of the emails I don't even want every day. It's just I'm lazy.
I love it because you can tell it which emails you're like, I don't want to delete that, but like it might be useful, and it'll roll all of them up into one email, and you get it at like 3 p.m. each day. And you're like, all right, I see all the screenshots, and no, it's gone.
Oh, that's awesome. So like you can just get kind of like a snapshot of what you would have seen throughout the day.
That's the main like crux of the app.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to try that out because if I could just get this is what you might have missed, because every once in a while, that one place has that sale that you just want to hop on.
Exactly.
I'm a huge clickbait sucker. Like they get me every time. what I do is I open the email because I can't not open it. If it says something like 40% off, you're like, that's amazing, even though I'm sure it's a scam. And then I go and I put in my cart all of the things that I want, and then it's like hundreds of dollars. And then I just leave the tab open for the entire week while I'm at work. I just never, ever close the tab. And then by Friday, I really think about it, and I have like a good moment
don't they send
of
you a follow-up
clarity.
email?
Sometimes they do, and those are the ones that I really can't stand, because I have to go back and just really think about what I've done.
And then you're scrolling through Instagram and you see that pair of boots that you've been looking at, and you're like, oh,
they're still in your cart?
maybe.
Yeah, no, they get me everywhere. It's all over the place. Facebook, Instagram, I can't escape it, but
That stuff happens to me though when I've purchased something already. Like I've already bought the product they were already marketing towards me or advertising at me, and I still get the ads. I just want to say like,
no, you
yeah,
need
I
two.
got it.
You need two of those.
Well, sometimes, yeah, I do need to of some things, but like it's like I get it. I know. Like pick something else. Just pick a different product. I've already bought that one. I don't need it. I don't need all the follow-up emails.
Yeah.
Are you arguing for better advertisements?
Oh, of course.
Smarter AI.
I would actually. What would you guys prefer? Would you guys would you want less emails or less advertisements and less like email marketing kind of things, or would you want like better targeted advertising and better targeted emails?
I'm telling you right now, they target me every time, and they win.
Get you.
So they're winning. So yeah, the answer is they're already doing that.
Because I would love to actually get advertisements directed at me that actually mean something. Like if I could, I hate watching
an example of that.
Well, like when I'm watching YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I'm not buying a car anytime in the near future, right? But I will definitely probably buy a bike in the near future. I'll buy some coffee in the near future, probably in a week or so. I just wish I could say those instead of having to see a YouTube video about like, check out this sweet new car and it's a family car. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't need that, but show me like some sweet new coffee company or a coffee brewer, or I don't mind watching the ad.
Well, how would you like them to figure out that you like those things?
Hulu does that. When you're watching Hulu, they say, which ad experience do you prefer? And
need
then
more
you
of
pick
that.
which one you want, and like you see the minivan one and you say no thank you, and then you pick whatever the other option
Or
is.
like, the cookies on all the blogs that I read. It's like I read coffee blogs all day long, and like, they got to know at least. I don't.
Are there a lot of coffee ads out there other than Folgers?
No, but they need to make them. Best
Okay,
part
well,
of
maybe
waking
that's
up.
the problem. There just aren't any ads for
Don't
coffee
knock on
because people are
Folgers.
just drinking.
Folgers is out there. They're hustling.
We know you need this. We don't need to advertise.
Folgers is a family company, and they show it in their commercials, and they always get me because I get home at 6 a.m. all the time and get welcomed by my mom who I haven't seen, and then I need coffee, I guess, according to Folgers. Anyway.
I don't want to talk about coffee anymore.
That seems to be a recurring. It is National Coffee Day. How do they come up with these national days? I feel like every other day is a national something day. Is Hallmark just have a
Why do you
group?
assume it's Hallmark?
Because they
greeting
invented
cards.
Christmas. They invented
Are you a flat earth
Valentine's Day. No,
They capitalized.
I'm a Hallmark theorist that they just figure out how to make money off of proclaiming days. Is there a board?
Santa is the CEO of Hallmark?
Yeah,
Tell us right
definitely.
I don't know how. I do wonder how, like, they come up with national holidays. Like, that could be, is that someone's job? Like, could I get that job just to say, okay, next on the third, Tuesday of this month every year is going to be like National Pogo Stick Day. I'm sure that's already a national day.
Well, we do live in D.C., so if that is someone's job, they live here.
National Taco Day, National Vodka
now. Every
Day.
day is National Taco Day.
It was National Drink Beer Day the other day.
It's like, that's so silly.
Oh, was it National Drink Beer Day the other day?
It was.
And then you have National Coffee Drink or
License
Coffee
Plate Day.
License Plate Day, is that one? Have you seen that one
It
before?
was.
Oh, see, it was Beer Day on Thursday and Coffee Day on Friday because you're hungover from the Drink Beer Day.
I don't think we need to overthink it. I really think some guy wakes up and he's like, this is my thing. I sell these things.
Yeah.
Today is the national
So
day.
apparently it's not, according to the internet. It's not like, it doesn't have to be official, I guess.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but like also the internet is agreeing with you. So +1 for Jackie. Well, okay, if you could create a day, Jake, what would you create? What would be your Jake's day?
National Pop Punk Day.
That's a pretty good one. What about you, Joey?
Oh, man.
On the spot.
National Go Out in Nature Day.
That's a good one.
Mine's the opposite. It's National Lay in Bed and Watch Trashy TV Day.
Well, that's the day after.
National Stay Horizontal Day.
Yeah.
That's just Sunday.
Nature's nice.
We all need
but
balance.
You can watch it on TV too.
I would want like a national. This Monday is actually just bonus weekend day for no reason ever.
That's called Columbus Day.
And that's coming up.
That's an extra one. I want an extra day on
President's
top of that one.
Day.
So going back just to the notifications and stuff, I was curious, when do you guys call, text, or email someone? Like what makes you actually pick up the phone and dial someone these days?
I call people when I need something immediately. Right? I mean,
Yeah, so when I make phone calls at work, I can't wait for the answer. I need them to know that I'm trying to get a hold of them. I need instant contact. If it's something that is a long-term project, will send an email. If it's something that I don't need to know right now, but I need to know it soon, I'll send a text message.
also when I'm driving, love talking on the phone. I mean, not holding it, obviously, because I'm going to say
Hands-free. No,
Hands-free.
we do not.
Hands-free.
We are
But I call
pro
people that I
hands-free
haven't talked to in
podcast.
a long time when I'm driving, like to and from New Jersey. That's where I get my best talking done.
Well, you're killing two birds. You're traveling and you're making that phone call that you should have
I
made
really hate
a couple
driving
times.
that way when there's lots of traffic. So I call, people that have moved away, friends.
I was trying to bring back phone calls a while ago. And people were really weirded out by it. I would like call my friends I haven't talked to in a while and be like, "Hey man, what's up?" And they're like, "Hey, what do you need?" And I was like, "Nothing. Just want to see how you are." And they're like, "Why didn't you text me?"
They thought something was wrong.
Yeah, no, something was wrong.
Joey. The first time Joey called me, I was like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?
Do you need something?
Are you safe?"
I can see how that is though, because like you're saying, when you call someone, it's like more immediate. It's like
It is.
But remember, like back in the day, like when we first, I remember when I first got a cell phone, I would stay up so late with my
So
friends
late.
talking on the phone.
yeah.
My sister and I had our own line in our house, and
Whoa.
it was the coolest, right? Yeah, I know.
Spoiled.
I still remember the phone number, which is really, really weird. But we
867-5309.
So you would like have a phone call with two of your friends, a three-way phone call, and then they would call someone else, and then they would call someone else, and then by the end of the phone call, you had like 7 people, and you couldn't hear the last person who was dialed in. Did this ever happen to you guys?
No, I don't think I had as many
my
friends.
God.
I don't
want to
have-
talk to my
I only
friends.
had
I
two.
had like, okay, but in middle school, and you're like, everyone's my friend, but really none of them are.
I only had 2 friends growing up.
So like when you had that many people on the phone, was it like kind of like having a big Google Hangout nowadays?
Yes, it's exactly right. I mean, it's like, yeah, it was just a phone. And who knows what we talked about? Honestly, I wish I knew. I have to talk to some of them about this. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to hear whoever the last one was. So you're literally playing a game of telephone and be like, what did they say? I can't hear them. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Google Hangout now, adding the video to the call. We did that for our fantasy football draft, being that we're on the West Coast, East Coast, other countries. For us all to be on a Google Hangout and see the person. I mean, we drank beer and told stories for a good 2 hours after our draft was over because we just enjoyed hanging out, even though we weren't together anymore.
It's like the closest you can get right now until we have like perfect holograms to like be in the room with someone else.
Whoa.
Like, wouldn't that be cool though? If like you were talking to someone and like their hologram of them sitting was like inside your living room.
Just like FaceTime came out, 10 years ago?
No.
Not on the first. Was it on the iPhone 4?
No.
5 years
The
ago?
iPhone 1 came out in 2007.
Right. So iPhone 4 was the first FaceTime, I believe.
Well, I mean,
sounds about
Skype was
right.
before that.
I think 2012 was kind of the
But
year.
remember, we were
2010.
very hesitant to
2010
FaceTime
it came
somebody. I remember feeling weird. I
Oh my God, I love FaceTiming. I like
first
to
it was weird.
FaceTime when I'm also drunk. And it's usually my mom
My dad. Okay, I don't know about you guys.
or my sister.
Have you guys ever butt dialed someone? Like
Yeah.
ever?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Have you ever butt dialed someone with your iPhone?
Yes.
No.
Really?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
My dad butt dials people all the time. I don't know how he does it because like you have to unlock your phone.
Does he not have a password?
Sometimes
No, he has a password.
I've like put my phone in my bag and like forgotten to unlock it or something like that, and then I've hit it's calls whoever the lost person is. Again, usually my mom.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad. All right, I have to apologize to my dad because I thought it was just him and like some magic that he's doing because it's nice to know that someone else has.
No, I mean it's definitely possible.
He leaves people like 2.5 minute voicemails of just him. It's like not even
about his day.
And you basically could track them and figure out what he did all day just by listening to his butt dials.
Does he have an iPhone or an Android?
It's an iPhone, yeah.
Because the only people that I get butt dialed by on smartphones are Android users because it's my friend Chris, it's 2 guys from work. Yeah, those are the only 3 people I know that use an Android.
It's funny because I've never butt dialed anybody, but one time I got the high score in Flappy Bird by just sitting in my pocket.
Did you really?
No.
I mean, that would be impressive. Like
It would be.
that game is just pissed me off. I played it for like one day.
All right, I think that brings us to our next segment, Google What. So Google What is a chance for us to look back on the week of what we Googled.
Yeah, all the
plain
stuff,
and simple.
all the stuff we had to look up because
Thank you for explaining because I was unclear.
I just wanted to make sure that our listeners out there knew exactly what we were talking about.
it's crystal clear now.
So what did you Google?
Yeah. So what did you Google this past week, Jake?
So the first thing that I Googled was how long to cook chicken on a grill. Not because I didn't know how to cook chicken on a grill.
Of course.
I know that the inside temperature needs to be 165 degrees so I don't get sick and die.
Yeah. That's the recommended temp.
But I always end up overcooking.
That's what the chef recommends.
I always end up overcooking and not having like a nice, juicy, tasty chicken. So I looked it up this time because I always look up how to cook a steak. Said 4 minutes on each side. Check the temp, and you should be good to go. They were perfect. It was so good.
Did you let it rest?
That's a good tip.
Yeah, chicken you gotta let rest.
Yeah.
Get those juices back in.
Well, I didn't do high heat like I would do for a steak. I did medium heat, so it would just kind of not get too crunchy on the outside.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. This segment is going to make people really hungry because I also looked up how to cook a whole chicken in the oven. Not because I didn't know how to do that. I just I was living in Scotland.
You don't know the right way.
Well, I was living in Scotland the past year, and so I had switched over to the other temperature.
Celsius?
Celsius, thank you.
The other temperature.
The other one that I used, but then I forgot.
Celsius, yeah. So I had I was always converting things. So I just looked it up. Just wanted to see what the temp was. It also came out exactly how it said, and it was really tasty. But I wish I had to look up something else called the Maris pepper. Or Mirage pepper, because I was watching some YouTube videos recently and they kept talking about it, and I kind of wish I had it. It's like it's a red pepper, and like you can like grind it up, and it's supposed to be really tasty. But so the next time you grill or I cook a chicken in the oven, I'm gonna put some of that on.
Yeah, I need some Mars peppers. I'm hooked.
It's apparently really tasty.
Well, speaking of hunger, I looked up Tinder pickup lines this week.
For yourself?
Your creativity running a little dry, striking out too much.
This app just pisses me off. And like,
Tell us about it.
I don't get it, and I've just devolved into treating it like a social experiment. And so I'm just like, what works? And so you Google Tinder pickup lines, and you quickly realize that you are not creative at all.
Yeah. No.
And you should just quit while you're ahead. And if you can't make up a pun with a girl's name, then you're just shit out of luck.
Do you remember any of the pickup lines that have stuck with you, or did you try any of them out?
I did try a couple.
Yeah.
What
We're
did you
going to
try?
need to know more.
Yeah, Jackie needs to tell us how this
Tell me
fared.
everything.
So my favorite one, you just send the word Titanic.
I hate
Just
it
tell me
already.
one.
I'm already out.
Just Titanic.
Already out.
No. You follow it up in a couple minutes with like, sorry, that was a terrible icebreaker.
No.
Oh,
Cheesy lines, they really get me. They really do.
that's awesome.
You know, so you're not, Jackie, you're not the cheesy lines aren't for you.
No.
All right. Well, I have a second one.
Give us a second one.
All right, so we'll try the next one out. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm writing a book. It's taking a lot of time. I'm really busy this week. It's a phone book, and it's just missing one line.
No. Sorry.
These would be so better if you could use your voice. Like the way you just said that does not come
Which is
across on the
why
line.
Tinder pisses me off.
You want to leave voice messages?
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
Tinder, if you're listening.
That would be so creepy. If you got a message, you're like, you just
Hi, my
connected with
name's
someone,
Jeff.
listen to their voice message to you, and it's you saying that. I think I would throw my phone out the window.
What if it was like a FaceTime message with like me looking at
Even
you?
worse. The call's coming from inside the house. Like, I can't. No way. Absolutely not. Is that, all right.
Jackie, what for you on Tinder? If you are on Tinder,
not on Tinder.
Okay, if you were, or any other dating app, what would be? What is there a good pickup line? Let's just put that out there because as a guy, I mean, I haven't used pickup lines in a very long time. No one's used one on me in a while.
I just did.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. But what's a good pickup line these days?
I think I'm just like a traditionalist. Like, let's just go with the hey, what's up? And start there.
That's what I did.
But I'm also really bad at using these apps, obviously.
Yeah, but don't you get 100 hey what's ups every day?
No, I'm not on Tinder.
Well, then this conversation is...
But thank you for the flattery. No, I don't. And no one even talks to me on the street, so it's really hard for me.
Once I saw Joey put this out on the outline, I Googled it myself just to see what kind of ridiculous things popped up. And my favorite one that I saw was, "Hey, what's your spirit animal?" And the girl responded, "Bulldog. What's yours?" And the guy responded, "Whatever animal has sex with bulldogs."
Oh my God. Were you when you Googled it, did you just find a bunch of screenshots of your old messages?
Yeah. So I was only on OkCupid was the only dating app that I was on, and it was in such the early stages. The only people that I matched with on OkCupid were like my MySpace friends that I was already friends with, or like new
Right,
friends
because it
of
was
friends.
like through your social media account?
Yeah, so it was like through your social media account. So it was, hey, I know you, but clearly we're both looking.
Oh my
So
God.
Hey,
This isn't awkward at all.
breaking the ice easily between friends. Yeah, I never when I used them briefly, and it was just I don't get it. I still think one time we set up a Christian Mingle account for one of my friends.
Oh, my friends did that to me.
He got a lot of hits.
But all of them, not
gotta
just
live.
Christian Mingle. It was Christian
J-Date?
Mingle, Black People Meet, Farmers Only,
farmers only.
all of these, and they set me up on every single one of them, and I just received all of these emails like, you have a match on blah blah blah, and they're all ones that are just not my,
I think
profile.
farmers only is definitely my favorite dating site.
Yeah, like, how big of a farm do you have to be on there? Like, can you have like a windowsill? Like,
I don't know, but it's
couple
Farmers
plants?
Only, so it's too exclusive for us.
Jackie, what'd you Google?
I Googled two things. The first was how to use a French press, which I felt really silly about, but we made some coffee and it was good.
Well, hey, that's on brand for National Coffee Day,
National
so
Coffee
good
Day.
for you.
The second thing was which 28 Days is the zombie movie and which one's the Sandra Bullock movie, where she's a pill popping person.
You can't be the only person who have Googled.
No, I obviously you start typing it in and like it all fills in for you. I don't even remember what the answer was, but I was. Yeah. I mean,
Have
I
you
was
seen
just-
both of them, or why were you searching that one?
We were taught, somebody had said, like, yeah, it'll be in 28 days. And I was like, 28 days. I wonder which one is the Sandra Bullock pill popping movie or which one was the one about zombies. This all happened in my head, and then I just Googled it.
Zombies was 28 days later.
Yeah, that's what I found out.
And then 28 days was
Sandra Bullock.
Bullock.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that was it. That was it for me.
I had another one because I don't know if you guys have noticed around in DC these just random bikes parked places.
They're like the bike share bikes that you normally would put in a dock, except you don't have to put them in docks.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, there's like 4 companies that have come over, and the ones I've noticed the most of are the Lime bike ones because they're like bright green with this like hit of yellow.
Yeah, and the other
they're
one's
like
Spin.
Car to
the
go
orange
for
one?
bikes.
Spin is orange. So it's interesting because this is the first time I've ever seen a QR code actually utilized for something other than
A Snapchat.
Their
picture.
time has
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
You're finally relevant, QR codes.
Finally.
You're up, QR code.
But it's interesting because instead of having to look for a dock like a Capital Bike Share, you have to look for a dock and make sure that there's enough bikes. You just hop on the app and it just pings bikes that are around.
It just makes me think of like, remember that meme where like, how did you know where people were hanging out in the old days? Like all the bikes are in the yard. So I'm like, is this going to bring back like the old school popularity contest?
There's a lot of bikes over there.
Oh,
we got to
man.
park. We got to go that way.
Oh man,
My thing though is like people are gonna I think they're gonna get left in like places they're not supposed to be left, and I think that's gonna be an issue because at least with like the like the Capital Bike Share ones, you have to push that into the dock or else you're gonna get charged, right? Because it's gonna keep counting it. But these ones, I can just see them getting left in places where, you know, not middle of the street maybe, but, you know, just in inconvenient places, or people going to complain, you know, outside of like popular grocery stores or something if they're not parking them near like bike racks. Because I think I read one of them online said that, you know, when you park, you have to park like where you normally park a bike, except this time you don't have to chain it to anything. You just like put the kickstand down. So
yeah, you put the kickstand down, and then there's a back wheel lock.
Yeah.
So if you don't lock that, your meter keeps running.
Runs.
But I think I thought the other thing too, that they would just get stolen and taken away, but they all have GPS chips in them, and I think it goes along the lines of Airbnb. So when I first heard of Airbnb, I was like, I'll never rent my apartment out because people are going to mess it up and people are going to do the wrong thing. But humans are a little more trustworthy than we give ourselves credit for. And if we have a guideline of rules and expectations, we're going to follow them. And if there's a way that can be negatively influenced, so if you get a bad rating and you can't use it again, or someone complains about where you left your bike, you're gonna get dinged, and you don't want to embarrass yourself. So people's
but
pride.
you're a abiding citizen, right? There are lots of people that suck out there. Look at all the Uber horror stories. People taking advantage of other people who are just trusting that they're going to get from point A to point B. But I mean, I agree. I feel like it could be okay.
I think
It's kind of like Car2Go too. You can park those anywhere.
Oh yeah. I think with the bike, like these new kind of bike share things, it does make it a little easier than having to get to a dock. It might be a little easier for people to kind of get from those metro stations, or if, you know, if you're listening to the podcast and you live in another, you know, metropolitan city, you know, anywhere where you're going to use the bike to get from point A to point B, where you can't get there by maybe taxi or train, subway, stuff like that.
You don't want to pay.
And I'm all down for getting more bikes out there because I think that's the way to go. Walking, biking, I'd much rather do that than take.
I think this will like be like this, you know, segue to like getting your own bikes. You're just gonna be like, well, this is annoying. Like, why don't I just have my own one?
Yeah.
I can just
Maybe.
go wherever I want.
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
One benefit is it's a one-way bike trip, right? So
Yeah.
like, you're like, I can just ditch this and do whatever.
You don't need it again. And also, I think like I'd rather have someone riding a bike than like after drinking. Like I'd rather you get on a two-wheeled bike under your own power than like in a car, because I don't think you'll make it very far on the bike.
Yeah.
But anything that gets people kind of using less cars, because everyone hates traffic. I think this is a cool way to do it. I'm looking forward to see how it works out.
Yeah, it just launched. I've only seen them pop up within the past.
I haven't seen them yet. Maybe I'm not paying attention.
This week, and then I think they've been out on the West Coast before.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised how quickly it happened.
Oh,
Yeah. So we'll see
That's
how they
cool.
go.
very cool. You'll have to try it, Jake. Tell us how it is.
Switching gears to after school special. New segment alert.
Yeah, new segment.
So after school special is a segment that we're going to discuss things from our childhood, nostalgia, maybe things we collected,
Things we wish would come back. Maybe.
things we wish would come back. Really, stuff from our past, and something that I collected were Pogs. You guys
All
remember
about those Pogs.
Yeah.
Yes. I had a huge collection of Pogs, and I don't think I ever really played the game or even
No.
played it correctly.
We don't
I
know
had
how to play
look
the
up
game.
The rules. So the rules.
How do you play?
Okay, so you have.
Oh, wait, you just recently looked the rules up.
Yes.
So you Google. So that's something you Googled this week.
That is true. Well, I saved it for this segment.
Dual segment.
But so you had Pogs, and then you had the Slammers.
Yeah.
And the Slammers were those thick guys.
Yeah.
And what you were supposed to do is put them all upside down, so you couldn't see like the designs on the Pogs, into a cylinder, and then you would throw the Slammer down, and then whatever Pogs were flipped face side up, those are the ones you got to keep out of the pile. So if you were playing someone, that's how you like got new Pogs and lost Pogs. Yeah.
Oh, so you're always playing for keeps.
You're always playing for keeps.
Ooh.
But I don't think I ever don't think that's what we did. I think me and my friends just kind of like threw the slammers at like.
I think we
the
just
Pogs
collected
and
them.
made them like.
I think we said
bounce.
this is a cool little design, and we keep this.
Yeah, some of them had like those like razor edge designs. Those were cool.
I had a Pog binder because I did not like losing things to other people in sport because I was never good at any type of.
So your Pog binder is like what old men used to like collect coins. But
Exactly.
you were sticking your Pogs in
But
it.
it was Pogs. No, I think it was Pog specific.
Inside the packaging still, pristine
no, it was like
condition.
I know what you're talking about, where you just like stuck them in there, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
nine-
a
like
sleeve
9
of
on
like
a page.
5 across.
Yeah.
So you get like 20 on a page. I also had a Pog maker where I could take photographs. Remember when we used to like have to get film developed?
You really liked Pogs.
I loved Pogs. And I had my puppy. I had me again. Just me at different ages.
You're so happy.
Instead of a photo album, you have a Pog album.
Oh my god.
This is my Pog when I was 8 years old.
Well, I collected
hasn't changed much.
Tamagotchis.
Tamagotchis.
I had like a gaggle of them.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Well, they were all keychains, so you just kept them all together. And then, like, when one would
like
die,
a janitor.
yeah, that you could hear
You
me
could hear
from
you.
a mile away.
Yeah. Here comes Jackie with her Tamagotchi.
Yeah, but they got really hard to keep up with because you had to like feed them
Yeah.
and like bathe them or whatever.
Didn't you have to hatch them to begin with?
Yeah, that's how they came to be. But then they could die if you neglected them. So if you had like 5 at a time, they're all eating and pooping at different times. It's very difficult.
Did you know there's a new app for iOS 11 called AR Dragon that is a Tamagotchi
No.
basically in augmented reality?
That's fantastic.
that you play
Whoa.
with and feed, and like I've killed mine already, but
Yeah, it is tough.
I mean, the Tamagotchis, they were difficult. And there's like, I remember them being really small and like there's only a couple buttons.
Yeah.
And
They didn't
I
do
didn't bring mine to
much.
school with me. And so basically it was just like, hey, Tamagotchi, welcome to my life. And then I just left.
Yeah.
And that was as far as I got with those things. And
Yeah.
that was a short-lived like thing. I think I had one. And then
didn't
it was
they
like, I'm not
beep
getting them.
in the middle of the night though? If they
Yes,
were like
they were
hungry?
very needy. The whole thing was I don't know why they were a thing.
So like having a child as a kid.
Yeah.
I think it was to deter premarital sex. Like look how much work this is. You can't
You
even
could
keep
have a
digital
dragon for a
being.
child.
I don't think I had a Tamagotchi ever, but I did have on Dreamcast for Sonic. You could collect eggs and hatch and transfer it to like the memory card that had a screen. And I remember taking that to a bowling alley and then losing it, and then I
I
couldn't
don't
play
know
the
what
game
that
anymore.
is.
Well, that's fine. 'cause
Is it
it's
like
a
Yoshi?
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, dude.
What about, did you guys collect Furbies at all?
Yeah. By collect, you mean hide in the cabinet because it was terrifying.
Yeah, those things, I don't understand. I didn't have one, but I don't understand how people like them. Because weren't they, like, they creeped me out.
I had one and I just don't know why.
It was just a fad. Like everyone had to have one. But we honestly, it was super creepy. It had a mind of its own. It didn't shut up, so you had to like put it away and like hide it under all these pillows so that you wouldn't listen. Yeah, talking to you.
That was excellent.
Yeah, it was really weird. And then like you would hope the battery would die, but it never would.
Yeah, I always had dreams that, like, they would kind of wake up and become like a living thing and
No.
then would, like, terrorize me at night.
It'd
was
be
not
like-
great.
It would kill you.
What were those things called in like a gremlin? Like aren't they the gremlins in that one
Yeah.
movie?
The movie
That's what-
Gremlins?
Yeah, exactly.
What if we took the batteries from the Furbies and put them into the Priuses and we just solved like the world's,
There's probably enough Furbies out there. to do
ecological
that.
crises?
We might be onto something.
Yeah.
I think the people who came up with all these fads are the same people at Hallmark that come up with the national
Just
days.
like, you really hate Hallmark today.
I don't know what it is.
He's against the Hallmarks, against the toys.
Oh my god.
Beanie Babies were like the same time, right?
Yeah, Beanie
Yeah,
Babies.
I did
were-
have a huge collection of Beanie Babies. I had names for all of them. I would get really psyched if I could get one that I didn't have in my collection yet, and I kind of wish those would come back. 'cause that's something I
And
would
you can buy
actually.
them on eBay for 0 cents.
Yeah, but you thought they were going to be worth so much. Like I always left the tags on.
They say that some are worth a lot, like the Princess Diana one, and like I don't know some of the others.
So, funny story about Princess Diana. I remember buying the Princess Diana Beanie Baby from a farmer's market, and it was the last one. And it was the last one, like last 10 that we bought, and I got the last one. And then a couple behind me was like, "How much do you want to sell that Beanie Baby for?"
They knew.
I bought it for $10. I said, 50? Handed me a $50 bill. I looked at all my friends. I was like, "You guys are suckers." holidays?
I think that's the only one that really is worth money.
I think you're the one who starts all these national holidays. You're just scamming people out of money over here.
I'm just projecting on the Hallmark.
With that, we will close off our after-school special segment.
Whew, man, what a podcast.
I need a peanut butter sandwich and a juice.
I need a beer.
Capri Sun.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. Again, you can follow us on Instagram at newpodwhodis.
Please
on
follow
Twitter at newpod_whodis.
Yep. And if you want to send us an email, get in contact with us, it's newpodwhodis@gmail.com. And whodis is whodis, D-I-S.
Until next week, I'm Jake.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Steven.
We'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Peace.
Later.